Hey, thanks for checking into the Friday the 13th YouTube channel. Today you're going to be listening to a concert review by Hardcore Pioneers, Sick of It All, who recently toured the UK and Europe. So please enjoy the concert. Whilst you're listening to my voice, you will also see some pictures that I took of the band live. So thanks for watching, be safe, and keep checking out Friday the 13th. Cheers! Now folks, I grew up with a lot of hardcore stuff back in the 80s, especially the New York scene. A lot of bands that really I enjoyed listening to and still do are Agnostic Front, Ludicrous, Leeway, Crumbsuckers, Bad Brains. There were some really cool bands that came out of the New York hardcore scene. Now, Sick of It All were formed back in 1986 in New York City by brothers Lou and Peter Collier, vocalist and guitarist, and the original drummer David Lamb, who quit the band later on and was replaced by Armand Majadi and bassist Mark McGeaney, who also quit the band later on. Now, we all know the New York hardcore scene back in the 80s was thriving. There were some fantastic bands out there really hitting the scene, and the most popular place where a lot of these bands played was CBGB's. Now, the band released their first debut album in 1989, which was entitled Blood, Sweat and No Tears, released on Relativity Records, which was kind of part of Combat Records. And with the success of the debut album, the band became very popular around the New York hardcore scene. It wasn't long before the band recorded their second album in 1992, Just Look Around, which was a great album. This was followed by Scratch the Surface in 1994, and I managed to see the band live on that tour back in the early 90s in Bradford at the Bradford Rio Club, and I must say the band were fantastic live. And the funny thing is, the lineup then is still the same lineup now. And the bass player, Craig Setari on bass, who was once the bass player for Agnostic Front. Now, it was really great to see this band play live in Hull. It's like I say, it's been over 20 years since I last saw the band live, and to see the same lineup as I saw back in the 90s is a fantastic result. These guys are really committed, absolutely great musicians. There's a fantastic brotherhood here within this band, a tight bond that has lasted for over 2 decades. So the show at the Hull Tower Ballroom consisted of 4 bands, 3 support acts. The bands that were opening up for the band were opening act Firearm, second band on the bill was called Street Soldier, and the third band Groove Street. Opening act Firearm were a really good support act. They put on a really good show, as most hardcore bands do. They were aggressive, hard hitting, but they did some really good songs and really wound the crowd over. With the energy that this band had, Firearm, they certainly got the night up and running, and to follow them was Street Soldier, which I thought were a pretty cool band as well. Now, both bands had that New York hardcore vibe. Even though these 2 bands were English, and even Groove Street were also an English band, I have to say Groove Street were a very impressive band. Now, Groove Street to me were more of a crossover band. They kind of had that power trip vibe, a bit of thrash, a bit of hardcore, and it really worked well for the band. I have to say, out of all the 3 support bands, Groove Street were definitely the best. But no disrespect to the 2 bands, Firearm and Street Soldier, who also did a fantastic job. So, New York's Sick of It All hit the stage to a very pretty packed out audience. Obviously the show wasn't as packed as Sepultura, but the band still had a great turnout. The crowd were up for it, the band were up for it, and there was bags of energy on stage. To see the band live, they really were fit moving about, especially the guitarist. Peter was a fantastic guitarist, full bags of energy. He's really got the vibe there. You know, it's great that they can move around on stage like they do. These bands have got loads of energy. Now, the band played roughly about 1 hour and 10 minutes, which was pretty good time length, but I thought the band might have played a little bit longer. Now, the band have released 12 albums to date and are currently signed to Century Media Records. I guess the band are promoting their 2018 release, Wake the Sleeping Dragon, and I presume the band are also in the process of writing new songs for the next album. Now, the band played for, like I say, 1 hour and 10 minutes, and the band played 22 songs in that time zone. Now, the band were really into this set list and the crowd were really into it. Now, the band hit the stage, packed full of energy. They really went for it. They had a fantastic time on stage. So did the crowd. The hardcore kids absolutely loved the show, and they played some really good songs. So, the songs that the band played live were Death or Jail, Injustice System, Cobbling Time, Inner Vision, Us versus Them, Take the Night Off, My Life, Wake the Sleeping Dragon, Self-Imported Shithead, I think that's a pretty cool title. Sanctuary, Road Less Travelled, Black Venom, Busted, World Full of Hate, Call to Arms, Rat Pack, Friends Like You, Machete, Bull's Anthem, Good Looking Out, Scratch the Surface and Step Down. So that was the set list for the Hull Tower Ballroom. A fantastic gig. All bands really did well. It was great to see Sick of It All again, so if you haven't seen Sick of It All, please go and check them out. They're a fantastic hardcore band from New York that have been around for many, many years. So thanks for watching this and thanks for listening. I hope you like the review and I hope you like the photos that are included. So be safe all of you out there and thanks for watching. Cheers, thank you.